5 games, 5 minutes from Dragon32universe.info. Welcome to CALIXTO Island, a traditional text adventure whose UK publishers were Dragon Data. It's originally an American game. One can only hope that the American version of this had better instructions than the UK version. All you get told in the UK version is to find a treasure and return it to its rightful place. I, at least, began playing this wondering what the hell it was I was meant to do. You start off in a professor's study, and careful exploration reveals some clues and some instructions that lead you to a teleportation device. There's also a handy book that tells you how to operate it, and a small array of items to pick up, carry around, and later trade for other items. There are graphics and these lift the game, but the amount of inventory shuffling needed is seriously dull. Whilst the graphical version is better than the text-only one, both versions do suffer from the machine's inability to register key presses correctly. The adventure is also fairly small and not particularly difficult. There are some Dragon games that you dig up and you think, wow, I can't believe most Dragon owners missed out on this. And then there are games like Concentrate from MK1, where you think, I can't believe even a single Dragon owner spent £5 on this. The capabilities of the machine go completely to waste here, with a boring game rendered so primitively that it's almost impossible to find the will to describe it. It's like Pellmanism for the ridiculously short-sighted. Concentrate is a 2-player game only, so my advice is, find someone, preferably someone you don't like very much, who is relatively suicidal, then get them to play this. A few minutes of it will probably push them over the edge. There's an introductory graphic of a dragon as this game starts. Sadly, this graphic is better than the actual game. Formula 1 from Pamcomms is a pretty sophisticated monochrome racing game for 2 players. You start the game by choosing a circuit and the number of laps you want to race around it. You then battle against your friend at speeds of up to 240 miles per hour. The game has fairly decent graphics, and handling your racing car is not difficult. The scrolling background, the occasional signs, and the trees that fly by, together with the bends in the track, give a pretty convincing impression of movement too. In fact, it's all very enjoyable, right up until you come to overtake your friend, at which point you'll probably break into a cold sweat, because unlike most racing games, in which you only get a time penalty for crashing, in Formula 1, crashing equals an abrupt game over. Your friend can overtake you, then brake so you rear-end him, and he can be awarded the winner. Grr. This doesn't detract from a brilliant Dragon game overall though, which also includes a track designer. Galacticans from Softek is an early Space Invaders game, with a fleet of block-style characters for you to wipe out. As you might expect from this type of game, you must dodge their bullets and stop them from homing in on your position. If you can destroy the whole fleet, you get a bonus. The game doesn't look as pretty as some, and the Galacticans are rather reluctant to attack you at first. The slow movement of the fleet from side to side also looks awkward. Now as you destroy more and more Galacticans, when there's a bit more of the machine's memory free, they begin to attack in threes, which does increase the adrenaline. Unfortunately, it leads to a sort of wall of Galacticans shooting down the screen that you can't break through to get underneath them. If you're hard up for Space Invaders on the Dragon, then you could consider this, but it's not the best that's available. When I first got my hands on Skier, I was amazed to find there was a Dragon game that had apparently never been advertised or reviewed anywhere before. Amazed I was, until I loaded it up. I don't know if my copy of Skier is bugged or whether the constantly bleeping ski run is a feature of the game, but what I do know is that Skier is atrocious. The idea of skiing down the screen and staying between the poles is nothing new, obviously. But this game does practically nothing right. Everything moves too slowly, your skier reacts too slowly, and every time you hit an obstruction you have to wait 30 seconds or so until the game restarts. The totally mad beeping and flashing of a black screen every time you correctly ski between the poles is just the final straw here. Unless you're one of those people who loves crap games, of course, in which case this may be the crappest one ever produced for the Dragon.